Welcome to Business on the Vine. I'm your host, Lady Jen Du Plessis, and in this dynamic series, we dive into the challenges, breakthroughs, and victories of entrepreneurs who have turned their passion into success. Welcome. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to this episode. I'm your host, Lady Jen Du Plessis. I am delighted today. We have a backstory that I won't share to anybody. I'm so embarrassed about. But I'm so excited today to have Ben Albert with me. We've had a couple of conversations, and we just find that there's so much that we can connect with, specifically about real business connections. This is one of the things that Ben is an expert at. He is the owner of Balbert, right? Is it Balbert or Balbert?
I'd say Balbert, Ben
Balbert.
Albert, Balbert, yeah.
Balbert Marketing LLC, founder of GrowGetters ONL, and the host of the internationally recognized podcast Real Business Connections, which I don't know if I've been on or not. I think I have.
You have not.
I have not. Okay, well, hopefully we can do that at some point. Yeah, we love doing pod swapping. So it's a delight to have you on the show here today, and it's a long time coming. Welcome.
Long time coming, Lady Jen. I've been excited for this. Really looking forward to our conversation.
Me as well. Me as well. So today, what we're going to be talking about is becoming a producer of experiences. So as you're listening, you want to take notes and you want to write this down because we're going to get as tactical as we can, but also keep it visionary for everyone so that you can think about all the ideas that might be presented. It's like idea climbing, right? And being a producer of experiences in your practice. So that, having said that, the first thing that we want to start with today, Ben, is let's talk about, you can't produce an experience in your business if you don't know people,
Mm.
right? So first of all, you have to meet people. So let's talk about a process or a framework that you have. And I love how you write this is, are you tongue-tied when networking?
Yeah.
Here's the solution. So share with us about how you build relationships using the CAN system, the CAN system. So write this down, the CAN system.
Yeah. And so I'm like an introvert. Like this came out of me wanting to do things my way, but this is like 100% for introverts, but works amazing for extroverts as well. I don't know what just happened here.
There we go. That's okay.
Works
We
great
we
for
won't even edit that. All of a sudden, Ben just disappeared on the screen.
I think I might have a chord that might be like
Oh
Jiminy, so
yeah,
we'll
I
see what
imagine.
happens.
Yeah.
And so the CAN system, and it
Yeah.
really doesn't. You said being a producer of an experience, like it really does not matter if you're a podcaster, a financial advisor, a mortgage lender. What you're doing is you're creating experiences for people. That is your goal. What you're doing is creating effects in their lives, that there's a butterfly effect. If you can create a great experience, you can help so many people. But I
Yeah.
was introverted and wasn't a big networker. And to give you a little bit of my backstory, so I was in the corporate world. I was a sales executive for a marketing firm. I got let go during the pandemic and I didn't have any connections. Like you mentioned, I'm an expert at real business connections. I sometimes feel like I'm just still figuring it out. I'm learning and connecting and meeting people every single day. I started a podcast called Rochester Business Connections in
Uh-huh.
2020. Now it's Real
Mm-hmm.
Business Connections
Mm-hmm.
because I needed some. And the concept, the CAN system, is create and network, content and network, collaborate and network. Lots of C's. I can go all day on the
Mm-hmm.
C's. But really, the core of it is what I call creation driven networking, where you're creating, collaborating, content, community, and network. Now, what does this mean? It means networking doesn't have to just be a handshake, a business card, and an elevator pitch. It's finding unique ways to create experiences, to create content with other people. So I set it up with the podcast because Ben didn't have business connections in his industry. He was from Rochester, New York, but he was like Music Ben was like a music promoter, and Music Ben was broke, unemployed, and non-essential. So I had to be Business Ben, and businessmen and entrepreneurs. So, how do we create a network? How do we do content and networking? I started a podcast where someone who's kind of introverted wants to get a meeting with anyone, wants to connect with CEOs, wants to learn from business leaders, wants to build referral partners. Let's start a podcast about those people and then have a unique opportunity to meet them. And is the pandemic, so everyone's showing up in their pajama pants anyways. And then suddenly I can get a meeting without anyone, even though I was kind of new to my entrepreneurship journey. Now, this can apply in many ways, but you can co-host events. If you want a seat at the table, you just bring the table. If you want an opportunity on the mic, it's your mic.
Create the mic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to win friends and influence people, just bring friends and be influential. Like, it's really not that complicated. And I'll give you a side example that it was a financial advisor who did this, but I think it would work great with anyone who just deals with ordinary families and builds referral partners and builds trust. He would go to his kids' Little League games, and he was a photographer on the side, loved taking pictures, but made his money on finance. He would take pictures of his kids at the Little League game, and he'd post them on Facebook, and people would be like, wow, I love your photos. Like, you're really good at this. I know this is kind of awkward, but can you take some pictures of my kids at the next game? And he's like, okay, I'm just going to show up to the game and I'm going to be present, but I'm actually going to put myself to work. And he took pictures of the entire team throughout the game, and he would share it with people so they could post it, tag him, so on and so forth. Now, way on the back end, they go, what do you do, Eric, what do you do again for a living?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I protect the assets of families. So he's
Mhm.
taking photos of families, building a big brand on, Facebook with all these relationships of the people on the team, and he is in a business that helps families.
Yeah. So this started for him with passion, right?
Yes.
His passion.
Creation,
So
passion.
yeah. So for someone who, maybe you're a trade company, right? Maybe you have a roofing company or a landscaping company, a construction company, maybe you aren't somebody in financial services who has a passion.
Yeah.
How do you create that within your own company to attract clients, to
Hmm.
retain clients, to have clients refer out because of that one experience that you do,
Yeah.
or that you create, and attract referral partners as well? Where does it start? I mean, what if somebody isn't creative and they're like, I'm an introvert, maybe
Mm.
they're an introvert and they don't feel they're creative and they don't feel like they have a passion they could use. How do you identify what someone could possibly do?
Yeah. Well, first off, they're probably wrong, which is okay. They probably are more creative than they think.
That's
I
correct.
always say there is no key to success. It's a combination lock. We
Yeah.
all have a unique combination. So,
Hmm.
what are you passionate about? Where do you hang out? If you like going to the brewery, maybe you host a networking event at a brewery or you have a beer
Yeah.
tasting. You have
Hmm.
to get creative in like, what would I do for fun and how can I bring other people to be a part of it? But to simplify who those other people are, because if we understand our who, then it's easier to understand the how and the what. Because we understand who we want to connect with, then we can work backwards. I
Hmm.
make this so simple. Your pluses, your minus, and your equals. Your
Hmm.
pluses are your mentors. They're the
Hmm.
people that will help you look good. Like as a podcast host, all my guests are in a ways mentors. They're my pluses. Your
Hmm.
minuses are your mentees, your audience, your clients. And
Yeah.
your equals are your peers or your referral partners.
I love that. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how do
Yeah.
I get mentors in the room, if possible? Someone maybe that can say, "Hey, Lady Jen does a great job," and since they're well known in your industry or well known in your community, the fact they're saying you do a great job immediately lets
Edifies.
it
Yeah.
edifies. That's a perfect word for it.
Yeah.
And then the peers are like either people that I can share information with, best practices, or
Hmm.
direct referral partners. And then the minus, the mentees or your audience, are the people that I can actually help, financially or even with my mentorship. And if we have an idea of literal names, if possible, if not, what industries, what area, what location, what background. If we understand who these people are, then we want to create experiences that connect with those people. Again, create and network, content and networking. Find ways to create cool stuff with these people, and then you become a thought leader without really having to do much. You just were the one who invented something. Again, whether it's the wine club or the beer club or taking pictures at an event or a podcast, or maybe you're bringing these people in, you rent a booth at your local baseball game. How can I get these people in the same room? How can I be inventive? And then, like, you and I are content creators, but the content creates itself when you just good people in the room and start having conversations and taking pictures of it.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with you. And you said a few minutes ago, maybe you need to repeat this, but if you want to speak or you want to be at the front of the room, create your own mic. I've said that for years. Is I hear this all the time, right, from coaches and speakers, like on in a joint venture, meeting, a JV meeting or an affiliate meeting. Is I'm looking for stages, I'm looking for speaking. It's like create your own, bring people in and create your own. What was the other part that you said? Not the mic, but something else.
I mean, I like to say if you want a seat at the table, you bring your own
Seat at
table.
the table.
If you
Yeah.
want an opportunity on the mic, bring your own mic. If
Yeah.
you want to be platformed, create the platform.
Uh-huh.
If you
Right.
want to be influential, create influence.
Right. By having this creative experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's wonderful. And that opens up, hopefully you're taking a lot of notes today and, it opens up the opportunities. And this is right up my alley because, like you said, I now have 48 different ways that people can collaborate.
Wow.
And most think it's five, if we even get to five. So opening that up and saying, oh, what else could we do together? And how else could we do? So this even opens up even more, because it's how can we create together
Mm.
instead of collaborate, using the word create together too. So I think that's wonderful.
Lady
Yeah.
Jen, I forgot the most important one.
Yeah.
Charity.
No kidding.
If there's a cause you're connected to,
Yeah.
what better way to network than just be active in that cause?
No question. No question about it. I use it all the time. That's how I got knighted, right? Because I'm involved in charities all the time.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I did that in my business quite a bit. I was going to have an event and I would say, "Hey, what's the charity?" I picked three charities per year and I would think, "Okay, which charity would I do now?" And so people were bringing clothes for women or clothes for men or canned goods for this or puppy food for dogs. I started my own charity called Fur Baby Food Bank. I thought we
Nice.
have food banks, why not have one for animals? Because the kids, parents don't want to say goodbye. They say,
Mm.
sorry, Snoopy has to leave because we can't afford it. Well, let's make sure, you can get taken care of too. But it always had that charity element because the charity will tell everybody what's happening. And if they're established, that's great because you get more exposure. Perfect example of what you said for taking pictures, but here's what you actually do.
Mm.
So wow, Ben supports a charity and I like that. I wonder what else he does. Yeah.
Well, and in
Thanks
this
for bringing that up.
AI world, that's why I say, like, you need to be a producer of an experience. You
Yeah.
want to create that butterfly effect because most people, a lot of us are in commodity jobs.
Yeah.
And a lot of information, even I have as an expert at what I do, ChatGPT has the similar information.
Hmm.
But no one's going to forget how you made them feel, who you
Correct.
helped, how you show up.
Experience.
That creates that experience, and that's something that cannot be replaced.
Yes. No question. No question about it. Even in the workshop I was just telling you I'm working on, right? The
Hmm.
workshop I'm having next month, just thinking about the experiences that will happen with it and the speakers I'm going to have that will provide more content. Like you said, the pluses, right? Those others that could do it. I
Yes.
have peers that could teach another element. I think that's really important. Okay, so thank you for sharing that because if we're going to be the producer of these elements that we're talking about here, we need to first meet people. So now we've met people and we've identified the people that are mentors above us, the people that are equal to us, our referral partners, our collaborative partners, our creative partners, and then the people we want to actually serve, pulling them and bring them all in together.
Yeah.
Now, what are some of the fun things that you do and that we talked about is one thing that you really love is creating rap songs
Yes.
and music.
So the rap song is kind of off the beaten path.
Yeah.
But so we're actually digressing a little bit from the initial strategy, but we'll circle right back.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. I show up at a conference. I didn't even know about the conference until 6 weeks before. A friend of mine speaking invited me. So I'm not speaking. I'm not VIP. I'm just an ordinary guy in the seat like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to connect with the speakers in a unique way. And I want to connect to the organizers because they might have me back next year. So what am I going to do? I take my phone and I record the talks. Easy peasy. Click record on a voice recording app, record the talks, plop it into a transcriber or chat GPT. We can get into tools, but I'm just going to keep it simple.
Right.
Record the talk, transcribe it, use chat GPT to turn it into a song. Use Suno AI or turn it into lyrics of a song. Use Suno AI to create the music. And then I reach out and I say, Lady Jen, it was awesome to see you speak at this event. We only had a moment to talk, but I was inspired to turn your keynote into this song. And it gives me a unique way to create something fun with the speaker. They gave the words, I made the music. Creation-driven networking, content, and network. They gave the words, I made the music, share with them. They're like, wow, this is unbelievable. Like, and when
Nobody's ever done this before. I never thought about doing this. Yeah.
And in cases like I had an event with 8 speakers, I did it for every single speaker, created an entire album, sent the entire album to each of the speakers. So they had the song, but they also had everyone else's, which is fun.
Right, because you don't always get to see everybody else, and listen to. Yeah.
Oh, and even if you're a speaker, like you're like moving around, you're talking, and like you're not taking vigorous notes,
right?
But these little quotes serve as reminders. And then lastly, obviously, I reach out to the organizer and I share, and then the organizer shares my album to their email list. I get permission. I play it as a podcast extra. So my listeners are like, wow, this person's really unique and creative. And I did all of this just by clicking record, transcribing, writing lyrics through AI, producing it. But no one else did that. And no one else will do that.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think I stand out?
Absolutely.
Now, this is a micro example.
Yes.
It works. Like, I recommend you go do it. But what is your way of standing out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that hard.
Well, so here's another example. So one of the things that we do, you signed this form, this media release form to be on the show, is that we transcribe, and every 10 to 15 interviews, we create an ebook on Amazon with an audio book, AI generated audio book. Right? List everybody as the author. So anytime someone's looking for Ben as an author, I show up. And anytime someone's looking for Lady Jen as an author, you show up. And now you're part of a print on demand ebook.
And I can actually tell people I'm a published author now.
When it comes out, you'll be able to. That's right.
Yeah.
And you can take it a step further and go, oh, and hey, would you also like to buy the accompanying album? Right.
Ooh.
Yeah. See how the ideas start flying? It's like, oh, okay. So we took the book and then we turned it into an album that someone could listen to, while they're driving down the road. And it's not a true album. It's not a CD. I get it.
Yeah. When you're not I think technically you might not be able to sell it itself, the music, because I don't know if you have correct rights. But all that aside, like, this is
if AI's doing it, there's no. I mean, they're generating the music.
Yeah, I don't want to get into.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So,
I'm not sure.
So we won't do that. But
one
yeah,
thing I wanted to do, literally, and you can maybe do this, and maybe we'll work on it together for when that next book comes out, is like you just have a scan code on the book, and it says if you want to listen to this chapter via song, like if authors, please listen up. You can have a scan code in your book that says, if you want to listen to this chapter as a song, you scan it, email thing pops up, they type in their email, and then they get to listen to the chapter as a song. And imagine if you're doing a book that's for like a younger audience, even as an adult, for me, it kicks butt. The retention when you
Oh,
read
yes,
it
when
and
it's
then
a song.
hear it in song, like, come on now.
Yeah. Yeah, and before we came, when we were in the green room, I was talking about that. I use a book called "Oh the Places You'll Go" by
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss, and I just asked AI to read the book and then create a song. Now, it's not every word; it's a song based on the book. It's not, every single word that's in the song. It is a compilation, a summary of it, and
Mm.
it's new music. It's and I have a man and I have a woman, and I did a rap one and I did an inspirational one, so I can
Love that.
do play it at different times. I love it. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so let's make a little bit of a transition here, because we're still talking about experiential. Obviously, this could be for retreats for your employees, this could be retreats for your clients, this could be a business networking event that you're doing with your referral partners. I mean, it's all about networking, but it's the twist, the edge that creates it as experiential. And we all know experiential is the name of the game these days. And that's why everybody's doing, right? Everyone's doing experiential, no matter what the marketplace is. What are one of the things we talked about that we want to talk about here is, how do you turn a podcast? Because a lot of our listeners are also podcasting themselves, or either hosts, or they're wanting to be guests, or maybe they're thinking about it, because it's a new way to get their business out. It's free PR, right? It's free PR. What are some of the strategies that you have for maximizing? You call it magnetic content, for maximizing, because I talk about monetizing.
Mm.
What are one or two strategies that you could share?
Yeah. And if you're talking about magnetic, if we already know our pluses and our minuses and our equals, that's who we're creating the content for. So we
Mm-hmm.
can be the center of gravity and attract them to us. Um, I mean, AI's never made this stuff easier.
I know. It is
It's
awesome. Yeah.
and I want to give a little asterisk. If you're already guesting on podcasts, that's kick butt. If we want to talk about the importance of that, you and I can, Lady Jen, but you could not even get on a podcast and you can do a private content interview. What's
Mm-hmm.
that? You get on a Zoom call, Riverside, StreamYard, you get on a Google Meet, you get on a call, you click record, person A asks person B questions. They can be
Right.
pre-prepared, and then person B answers. So you're already doing that on a podcast. But if some people are like, I don't know if I want to get on podcasts, I don't really have a gift for gab, I don't know if I'm going to stumble on my words. Well, let's do a private content interview, and you don't have to be perfect with your words. Now, what do you do with that? There's lots of tools. I like Opus Clip personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you use an AI video tool. I like Opus Clip. It's going to cost a little bit of money, but it's
Mm-hmm.
worth it. Like, it's very affordable.
Or you
And
could use Fiverr and just hire somebody from the Philippines. People have done that. I know. I
yep,
don't do that, but yeah, people could do
you
that.
can go to Fiverr, Upwork,
Hmm.
and hire someone just to
Yeah.
completely do it for you. And our podcast or our content interview is easily 20 to 30 good clips.
Hmm.
In
Yeah.
addition to that, any
Yeah.
AI video transcriber or audio transcriber, there's a million of them, or you can go and hire a freelancer to do it for you. You just have it AI transcribe, and then you use whatever AI chat tool you use, whether it's Gemini or ChatGPT, and you prompt it to pull out the top 20, 30, 50, depends on the depth of the interview. Give me the top 20 quotes that'll make sense out of context. So you've got your video clips. Now you have 20 quotes, and you can use those quotes for graphics. Hopefully, at some point, you do a photo shoot. Again, you could do freaking an AI photo shoot. I think as long as it's got to look like you, or else it's kind of
Right.
tacky. But if you have pictures of yourself, you can just overlay the words on the graphic, and now you have great thought leadership business content. Or you don't even have to overlay the words on the graphic. You have the quote, and you ask that same chat thing, turn
Create a
this
meme.
into a short social media post. Now, the
Mhm.
way I like to write posts, simplifying, is hook, rehook, value, CTA. The hook is something to grab their attention. The
Okay.
rehook is also a hook, but I want to hook them. They click read more, and then I rehook them. So, like, did you know that the S&P has did you know that the S&P has won 17 out of the last 20 years? And then
Yeah.
the rehook would be most people are investing in crypto, but the S&P's better for this reason. And then you go to adding a little bit of value, and then you go to the CTA, engage in the comments, let me know if you need help, this and that. So I butchered that, but I made it up on the spot. You can
Yeah. I
use
know
this
exactly what you're
formula.
saying.
So
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
take the quote and you say, create a post following this format: hook, rehook, value, CTA, include this quote. Now,
Yeah.
I'm overcomplicating it because it's going to create really good copy. You could just feed it and just let the AI do all the work. But to break this down, all we did is take an hour-long interview. It could have been on a podcast or behind the scenes. We used a video finder, AI video, creator to make 20, 30 shorts. Then we use the transcription to get 20, 30 quotes. And then we can turn the quotes into graphics. We can use them in copy. We can use them to rewrite our website. Like, the sky's really the limit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll stop there because it truly is the sky's the limit. Because you could turn it into a book, you could turn it into an ebook, you could do so much with just an
Your
hour
own
long
books by
interview.
being interviewed. Yeah. Years ago when I was in the mortgage business, I did interviews. I didn't know I was going to be a podcaster. And by the way, didn't even know it existed because I've been podcasting for 15 years and I think podcasting's been out for 17, right?
Well,
I set up a studio in my office and I had Getting Real with Realtors with Jen Du Plessis, right? I wasn't a lady that Getting Real with Realtors. And I would interview my realtor partners and they get all puffed up because I'm interviewing them. And then others were like, well, how can I get interviewed? Well, you have to be a partner. Right. And then it transcended into exactly what you were saying, what you did, because you were Rochester business, right?
mm-hmm.
And you're just doing interviews on the street, like the guy on the street. I started doing that. I started going to local businesses and saying, hey, let's talk about your business and let's do this. And then I started going to charities and started talking about them. And these were all released into my YouTube playlist. And if I had to do this all over again, I probably wouldn't be a host
Mm-hmm.
because you have to do it every single week. You have to
Mm-hmm.
pay people to da 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 da. You got to find, all the things. I want the luxury, and you may want this too as you're listening. You want the luxury of, I want to do it when I want to do it. Maybe you have to build up the confidence, then you can get three out at once because you have confidence, and then it sits for a while. And so you would have those opportunities to do that. So I just, I love what you're saying about the rehook. Make sure that everybody knows here what is a CTA, and I'll let you tell everybody. I know what it is, but not everybody knows what a
Oh,
CTA
yeah.
is.
Just a call
Yeah.
to action.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Like call me, text me,
and
come
it
to this event.
like, it could be a link to an event. It could
Mhm.
literally be your phone number. That kind of looks silly
Yeah.
sometimes, but it needs to. My favorite CTA, honestly, is just a call for engagement.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
if this story touched your heart, share your own below.
Yeah.
Or even,
Yeah.
like, let's say you have an event, message me or comment grow for a free complimentary ticket.
Right.
Little
Right.
things like that. And what I do now, I'm super strategic, like, I go overboard, is if anyone comments, I'll send them a direct message anyways.
Yes.
So if they comment but they didn't actually sign up for the event, I'll reach out and I'll be like, hey, I saw you commented on my post. Really hope you're doing awesome. Would you like to come to the event? I have a complimentary ticket for you. So don't be afraid to bug people. But the
No,
CTA is
especially
just
when
to get a
they,
little engagement. Yeah.
yeah, especially with comments. I'm glad you brought that up because that's another thing, this is sort of like an online networking tool,
Mm.
right? That we all get excited about. Oh, I had 50 likes, 3,000 likes or comments or whatever, but that's where we stop. And everything that you're talking about, Ben, is what my clients called me is Jen's dot 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 method, right? I don't go on a podcast dot. I go on a podcast and I go dot dot. What else could I do? Dot 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 dot. What else could we do? Then what can we do? Then what we can do? And that's what you're saying is take a podcast, take an interview. Then what? Chop it up into clips. Then what? Create some memes with your picture. Create some memes with AI, right? That are standardized or about that quote or whatever. And then what? And it's the same thing here. Is that don't just sit back and go, yeah, I got 1,000 likes. Look at me. Go into it. Hey, I noticed you liked it. What'd you like about it? Hey, I noticed you comment. Do you want to have a conversation? I'm going to use your word, as a minus. Do you want to have a conversation as an equal? Right? Taking things to that next level. I love that you're saying this. And this is how you provide or create magnetic content, as you call it. Magnetic content. But you could do this with networking. They could do the same thing with networking, with people you met. They're liking and commenting. Go ahead.
It's just like I've been doing YouTube, but I haven't even been posting on social media. If someone wants to follow me on Instagram, Real Ben Albert, it literally says on a social media detox, posting stories or sending DMs, something like that. And I archived all my posts. And I still post in stories. And honestly, your super fans watch your stories anyways. I stopped posting content because I found connections through the DMs, through reshares, all of that, through the comments, so much better.
Right.
And
as long as they're not
events.
canned.
Yes, of course.
Right. As long as they're not canned. Don't you love it when people on LinkedIn, and you're listening to this today, right? People on LinkedIn go, hey, we should connect. And instantly they're pitching you.
Yeah.
And instantly I disconnect.
I could get on a soapbox. Do you want me on a soapbox or no?
No, we'll get on a soapbox another time because I'm going to have you as a guest content speaker for one of my workshops or my master classes because we want to go deeper, right? We want to be able to go deeper into that.
I could talk LinkedIn all day. If anyone wants to message me, I'll give them like 10 red flags to look out for. Yeah, I've got at least 10 off the top of my head. So
that's awesome. So we'll put a link in the show notes so that people could come connect with you and get that information. That sounds really good. Is there anything you'd like to leave us with today? Based on all the stuff that we've talked about networking and creating our own production and some of the tasks or tactics we could use on the backside to really create this beautiful orchestra, right? This beautiful or symphony of opportunities.
Yeah, I want to reiterate a point from prior in the conversation.
Yeah.
And there's a reason they take your fingerprint when you get in trouble. It's because you have a unique fingerprint. You have a DNA code. Your business has a fingerprint. It has a DNA code. That's why I say there is no key to success. It's a combination lock. All of us has a unique combination. So who are our mentors? Who are our peers? Who's our audience? What creative endeavors light us up? Take all the things that we've talked about and don't follow it as an exact framework. Apply your skills, your interests, your industry to it. Apply your combination lock. And that's how you start to stand out and unlock pretty much anything you want. It's not by just following someone else's playbook. It's by creating your own.
Yeah. Yeah. We call it model and modify.
Oh, yeah.
Model and modify. Find someone.
Soundbite.
Yeah. There you go. So it's no key to success. It's a combination lock. That's a great soundbite too. I love it. I love it. It's been such a pleasure, Ben. I think we could do a 10-hour podcast for sure. For sure. It's just been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so, so much. And again, we'll have the links below so that everyone can get in touch with you. We'll have all your social media links as well as 10 red flags for LinkedIn.
Yeah. That doesn't exist. You have to DM me and I'll just start
giving it to you.
I won't be able to control myself. No.
Okay. Yeah, I love it. Well, now it's a new thing that you have to give to people. Yeah.
I love it.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us. And all of you listening, thank you for taking time out of your busy day. You've got a lot of actionable items today that you could put into play. And by the way, as we're recording this, who knows when you're going to listen to it, but do it over the next 12 weeks, the 12-week year. That's a book, by the way, the 12-week year. Why take a year to put something into play? If you can accomplish something in a week over a month, that's 1 week. So you could excel and move forward your business a full year every 3 months when you just hone in and do power plays on what you're learning from all of the podcasts that you're listening to. So take these notes, put them into play, carve out the time, do some time blocking and strategizing, and move your business forward right away. You have everything you need to do something right now. So thank you for listening in, and just remind you to head on over to my YouTube channel and subscribe, where you'll find all of my podcasts in there, as well as some other information. And we'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks for joining us. Thank you again, Ben. Thank you for joining us on Business on the Vine. If you found value in today's conversation and would like additional support, go to supportfromjen.com. Remember, the best ideas are always discovered on the vine. So keep innovating, stay inspired, and continue to grow.